And welcome back to the Week of What If. Well, I did initially start off the Week of What If with all metal pedal to the metal, all wheels going straight, face front, facing forward, front face forward. I kind of dropped the ball on today, mostly because I had intended to pre-record the two videos for today, as I am not recording them today. I have them uploaded before I left to work, but I got caught up after work, and then I got home, and I'm playing some arena, and I got caught up playing arena for too long, and I ultimately just I'm tired. I just don't have the energy for the videos. It'll just feel lackluster, so I'll just put it off for tomorrow when they're supposed to come out anyway. So I am still on time. It's not like I'm not on time. It's just normally I already have these pre-recorded and put them out in the morning. But anyway, I digress. This time's us from Mr. Darkholm asked the question, and it's another self-insert one, everybody. What if yours truly was an avatar? Now, I don't remember if it was Avatar: The Last Airbender or Avatar. I wrote Avatar. Keep in mind, there's a film called Avatar. So saying, if you were to just say Avatar, I might have to assume it's Avatar James Cameron. What I assumed this was Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, I'm actually going on record talking about how I kind of use self-inserts a little bit, but just so we're clear. There are universes where I feel like making myself a kind of OP badass is awesome, and universes where I'm like, that doesn't really make much sense. I'm not technically the main character or anything like that. And there's, the Dragon Ball one, didn't want to make myself that OP. No, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'm awesome, I beat everyone like that. But I can tell you right now, whenever I get around to doing the me and Naruto or me and my hero, what it's, I am going to make myself a little more on the OP side in both of those. Here, this is actually interesting because there are two routes I can go with this. I can go with me as a bender or me just as is. Now, keep in mind, you're asking, what if I am in the universe? You're not asking if it's me, with the knowledge of everything. It's you have to be very clear when you suggest a what if of inserting said person into that world. Are they a part of that world, or is it sending me with all the knowledge I have of this universe into that world? So you really have to be specific when you ask those kind of questions, obviously. I have one particular one particular viewer who gets a bit on my case for some of those things. And to some degrees, I understand where they're coming from. Other degrees, I'm like, I feel like what you're looking for out of this and what I'm, looking for out of this are two very different things. So sometimes I think it's like one of those things where kind of gotta just suck up and deal with what you get. And if it's not exactly what you wanted, then you need to specifically define the what if. But I've already gone 3 minutes. I haven't even talked about this. So really, it's a question of, what do I want to do? And I want to be a bender, let's be honest. But I've always thought about this. This was one of those what ifs. I'm like, all right, but I don't want to just be a firebender, earthbender, waterbender, windbender. No, I would like to actually be kind of an oddball outbender. So the reason this can be a one shot as I'm doing this is because I don't touch Korra shit. Korra was fine. It's better than Boruto, that's for certain. Korra was fine, but I shit on Boruto. Boruto isn't as bad as I make it out to be, especially later parts of Boruto. The issues the Bayon form just recently in the anime, so it's got its upside, sure, but I don't like Boruto overall, and I didn't like Korra that much either. Because it's not my avatar. I'm sorry. Why am I supposed to care about these characters? They didn't do a good job of doing that for me. At least not like our main cast. Tenzin, Toph's daughter, those characters are cool. But our main, Korra herself, I don't really like Korra that much. Sorry. Aang was a lot more likable. But I think it's because he was a much younger kid and had a much more bubbly, view of the world and all that, and was a lot less cocky. Anyway, I still digress. So, I would insert myself, oddly enough, in the 3rd season. Now, why would I do that? Well, it has to actually do with me as a character and where our characters would be. In the 3rd season, the gang is on the run. They're hiding out. Aang was injured. He grew his hair out. And they're kind of just hiding out the best they can for the time being until Aang recovers. They can, work out a new strategy, all that good stuff. Well, during that, they would most likely, they would probably come across me. Now, where I see, I would actually probably have a whole episode dedicated to me. Now, my idea is this, and it's probably something that a lot of people have thought of before. Let's be honest, it's probably nothing unique. But still, my idea is this, is that during the episode, they're like during a storm, it's raining, all that, there's thunder and lightning going all around. Well, it dies down, and they're still seeing more and more lightning. And, they keep going, and that's when they see me just kind of, training and practicing, firing off lightning. But I'm not just doing it like, they do in the show. No, I'm doing it like, actually firing like I fire fire. Like a firebender would fire fire. I can, do that. I'm practicing different techniques. I got lightning, basically a Chidori, legs, all that. I can actually coat myself in lightning. Like, I think about pretty much all you have to do is think of what your imagination can do with lightning, and you're good to go. So, why am I a lightning bender? I like the idea of someone who, because we know how bending works. It comes from your chakras. Chakras, depending on the pronunciation. I believe in the show they say chakras. And they explain it. And I love Avatar because they do a great job of philosophy in the show. Chakra points and, being able to channel your chi and chakra, and the energy in you is what allows you to bend. Now, firebenders, obviously, they also have to use breathing, same with airbenders. It's about flow and, fluidity when it comes to waterbenders. And it's about, waiting and being patient when it comes to earthbenders. But what happens if you had, say, like a not even a disfigurement? You are born different. You have a malformation. Your chakras are not developed in the same way. And so I could see myself being a character who was actually ousted, not even ousted, like targeted, because like this kid doesn't bend right. This kid can naturally just bend lightning. The way we do fire, he's doing lightning. Like, we could use this guy. This guy would be menacing on the battlefield. And eventually, as I get older, I'm like, no, I got to get the hell out of this place. And so, like, one mission, I basically fake my own death and go into hiding. So now you have me, at my age, obviously, 30s, in the forest, practicing. And unfortunately, because I'm in my 30s, there's no way I'm winding up with any of our cast, be it Mai, Ty Lee, anything like that. If we wanted to, I could age myself back down to, say, my late teens. You know what? For sake of argument, let's do that. Let's age me down to, like, 18. I think that's more than reasonable. Yeah, I'm a little older than, like, say, Mai or Ty Lee or Azula, and they're, like, the oldest girls of the group. But you know what? That's okay. It's not that creepy for the Avatar world. No statutory terms here. Anywho, so they see me, and I'm, being like, crap. It's like, I don't know what you saw, but it's not what you think. It's like, were you bending lightning? It's like, oh, that. Guess it is what you saw. And at that moment, I'm just like creating a little ball of lightning in my hand, ready to try to make it. Yeah, it's like, wait, so how are you doing that? Yeah, that's a great story with many twists and turns. Be happy to tell you. And I just like, another time, boom, it's like, God, everybody. I'm just like hightailing out of there, using the lightning to kind of like boost my speed and reflex a little bit. It's like, and so I get away at the time. And now, obviously, firebenders in the area, and they've heard. And he's like, we're looking for a fugitive. Have you seen this man? It's like, wait, isn't that the guy who's like, and it's like, have you, we may have seen him, yeah, I think he said he was heading south. Then he's like, follow us, man. He's like, why'd you do that? I was about to say, we can't just, honestly, he didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but he's a firebender. He saw us, Katara. We can't just, we can't just let him, let him point us out either. Yeah, but he doesn't know who we are. Yeah, I mean, if anything, we're the ones who found him, and he ran away from us. Well, yeah, but, to which that point, I kind of pop in on him. It's like, yeah, thanks for that. Wah! But it's like, well, you guys talk pretty loud. You really, if you're trying to, lay it low, you probably shouldn't allow that. You probably shouldn't talk so loud. And so, I buy them lunch or something like that. We talk, say, wait, so, and then I kind of explain my backstory to them. And, one thing leads to another. Eventually, the Fire Nation does come to, the group of Fire Nation soldiers come. And I'm like, because I've been like, helping the town, because I'm not an evil person or anything like that. I prefer to be left alone, but I'm not going to just stand around letting an innocent person be like, accosted. So this basically now allows us, allows the confrontation. The gang's about to, Aang's about to, reveal himself, but ultimately I'm like, nah, I got this, guys. They're after me. Now, trust me, I'll be okay. And and say, come with us quietly. The Fire Lord demands your services. I'm like, I have no intention of going back and being a weapon. I'm my own man, and if you want me, you're gonna have to take my body back dead. It's like, so be it. It's like, no, and then they just try to incinerate me, but I'm just repelling it with a wall of electricity, just basically kind of like an electromagnetic field, pretty much. It's like, fun fact about electricity is, it's tied with magnetism, and if you create a big enough magnetic charge, you can basically repel and push and repel and attract any sort of thing, including the energy reduced by fire. It's like, as such, and then all of a sudden, I just changed up, and like all their armor just flies up. Ah! It's like they're just like, and it's like, you can have this back, and then just throw it back Magneto style. It's like, and it's like they get shocked. It's like, and all of a sudden I'm just standing there. And fun little technique I always loved from Bleach, the Byakurai, is basically just pale lightning, as they call it. It's literally just shooting a beam of lightning straight out. I literally just got my fingers pointed at the 4 or 5, and it's like I could end you right here, right now. And they're like, but I look at the group and like, holy crap, he's about to do it. And I just look at him and like, I'm not staying in this place, but I'm gonna give you guys a 30-minute head start. Go. And so, well, I can't stay here anymore. Besides, obviously at this point I know with Aang's the Avatar. Besides, it looks like you guys can use all the help you can get. And so ultimately I joined the group. Now, I would say this takes place probably between the beach episode and the Avatar and the Fire Lord episode. Somewhere, maybe even before that, maybe around after Sokka's Master. So this would technically be the actual episode 5. So when Sparky Boom Man comes around, I'm able to, kind of duke it out with Sparky Boom Man to give us all give them a chance. Obviously, Aang could duke it out too, but they were just unprepared. We were caught with our pants down. The Runaway, which is the one with the Toph, basically causing the running the scams. I probably wouldn't play a big part in that. The Puppet Master one, I actually think would be very interesting because, as Aang and Sokka and all of us are trying to take these guys on. I'm probably helping Toph get the people out, and that's Katara's episode. Now, I could play a factor in there, be like, God, you guys, seriously. It's like, how are you able to resist her? It's like, I wasn't able to resist her. What are you talking about? She just wasn't paying attention to me, that's all. But yeah, Nightmares and Daydreams, that would basically be, because that was the episode where Aang just couldn't bring himself to, take down the Fire Lord. And, you Melon Lord! The Melon Lord episode. Who doesn't love that? So at this point, I really haven't been playing that much of a fact. I mean, I've been helpful in these fights, obviously, but it's really not one of those things where I am a big part of the story at this point. Day of Black Sun comes, and I'm actually very useless. Honestly, I probably would, knowing me and my personality, I would want to actually be very well-rounded, and I'd probably be actually a very expert hand-to-hand fighter, too. Because I wouldn't, in real life, I'm not a master martial artist or anything like that. I'm not like Donnie Yen or anything like that, or I'm not like Khabib, MMA fighter. But I do, honestly, without tuning my mind, I'm a fairly competent hand-to-hand fighter. I could hold my own in a fight very well, even against someone who is also competent. And I do feel like that would be me as well. I'm helping out where I can. But really what I'm actually going to be there for, and in my mind, this is where I actually shine, is the fact that I'm actually there to help when the invasion goes wrong, when the sun is finally exposed again, they have their fire bending back. So basically, and Zula even sees me, doesn't even know who I am, though she does feel like she's seen me before. It's like, sounds like the firebending's back on. It's like, and, she fires the fireball. But immediately I'm like, yeah, it's like, yeah, so it is. Yep, I'm sure Dad would love to take you. fight you now. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I could join you. And he probably wouldn't be able to stop me, and it wouldn't be able to stop us both. It's like, yeah, but it's got to be me. It's like, understand this. And Azula here's like, what the hell are you talking about? Maybe another time, princess. It's like, oh, really? It's like, really? And she doesn't like charge at me, but she is like, who is this guy? And so after we are hightailing it back and trying to stop the Fire Nation, or trying to save everyone else, obviously the war balloons come out. It's like, oh god, my Avengers is terrible. It's like, and then that's when at that point where I basically say, all right, everyone get to the boats right now. They're gonna drop bombs. I'll buy us as much time as we can. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, this is why I'm actually here. I can't do much during the invasion because no matter how I bend, I'm still a firebender. The lightning is still fire. But now that it's over, all of a sudden, boom, you can see, I can cut loose. And all of a sudden, everyone on the ground is just seeing these giant aura, like this just bright glowing light, and everyone, including like the Fire Lord and the Azula, are not seeing it, and they realize who I am, and they just kind of like Emperor Palpatine style, just yeah. And like again, Magneto start throwing ships into other ships, blowing hulls, just boom, 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 boom. And I started like, now again, this is kind of where I made myself a little on the OP side, where I'm like, I'm just starting to take down an entire armada by myself because it's all made of metal, pretty much, except for the blunt part itself. So I'm basically just electrocuting a lot of these guys. Boom! Throwing out a bunch of techniques. In essence, it's firebending, but with lightning, just slices, boom, boom. And this causes a big change. A lot more people are able to get away, including in the subs. So everyone's able to basically backtrack. They still go on, like, everyone who needs to, including me, still goes on Appa. But everyone who needed to, like Sokka's dad, all that, they're able to get away in the subs, and they're able to, go off and do their own thing. Although Sokka, I think's dad probably goes with us. So ultimately, we get away, and everyone's looking, and Zuko is even looking, and I was like, holy crap, like, amazing. And we go, and we get to the Western Air Temple, and it's like, that was, flying phone makes Sokka tired. You know what else makes people tired, eh? Fighting off an entire Fire Nation fleet. You ever try that? That's not easy. I'd say, yeah, hey, look, that was really amazing what you did, man. Seriously, I didn't know you were that powerful. Yeah, I mean, imagine what happens if we were to go one-on-one. Oh, one-on-one, I wasn't able to even use any of my really powerful today. So wait, that was my bad. It was like, wait, that wasn't even your strongest techniques? No, my strong techniques are only good on, like, against people, not against fleets. Although I probably could have, if I wanted to, I probably could have incinerated a couple of them, but I'm just I was like, holy crap, what's this guy's deal? But anyway, so afterwards, Zuko, shows up. Hi there, Zuko here. And I think me and Toph would be, like, the ones who could figure out Zuko's not lying. And obviously Spike's movements there, or Combustion Man. And Sokka tries Sokka, throws the boomerang. It's like, I got it, and I shock the boomerang. So when it hits him, he does just hit him in the third eye. It shocks, like, and he actually goes down temporarily. It's like, we got him, yeah. And it's like, and now at that point, I'm able to basically create like a little mini Kamehameha. I'm like, it's like, what are you doing? Waiting for him to get back up. That wasn't going to knock him out for too long. That guy's strong. And sure enough, he gets back up and it's like, huh? And that just as about to launch it, he just blows himself. I was like, oh, well, that was a thing. So yeah, Day of Black Sun. I do think I'm also going along for Day of Black Sun because I think that would create a very interesting, not Day of Black Sun, like the Boiling Rock. I do think that that would create a very unique little scenario there. I go along with Sokka and Zuko. Difference is though, I kind of like stay out on the the area like where civilians or the few like bits of docking area would be. I basically am just keeping a low profile at the time, and I'm just trying to get the information I can. I stay out of it up until the jailbreak. We're like So seems like things have finally gotten big words here. It sounds like they found what they were looking for. I also probably sneak in at that point when I see that Azula Ty Lee and Mai are there. I'm like, and basically what I do is I basically do a Spider-Man / Magneto where I'm basically magnetize myself to the bottom. It's like, okay, no one's gonna notice me now. And it's like, nope, nope, nope. And they're trying to get away, and I'm basically like, oh, what the hell took you guys so long? Where have you been? Where do you think I've been? Keeping an eye out for things. You really think it'd have been easy for all three of us? Like, no time for discussions. And so basically, boom, getting out of there, and we're all in there, and we basically are now, duking it out as best we can. With Ty Lee, Mai, and Azula. Well, it's Azula and Ty Lee. Ty Lee's running up. It's like, okay, we got a problem. It's like, not quite. And it's like, I got this. And then I basically just like, I was like, I could shock the wire, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure both of them are gonna fall into that. And like, yeah, I don't really feel like killing someone today if I can help it. So, all right, how are we gonna do this? It's like Tyler. Basically, it's me and Suki versus Ty Lee versus and Azula and Sokka versus Sokka Azula. Zuko and Sokka versus Azula. God, so many C's. But Azula is actually more like you, and it's like me. Then Ty Lee just tries to like get a point. It's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's like, told you. Told you. Kind of like punch her bet, but she's going back with Suki against Ty Lee or Suki. And so Azula is now trying to actually fight the three of us, but she's actually a bit more focused on me because she's like, you betray. I mean, Zuzu's one thing. Zuzu here wanted to honor all that, but you could have had anything. You could have been our finest warrior. Instead, you threw your lot in with them. Why? It's like, are we jealous, Azula? Is this because I never called back? I was like, yeah, and Zuko was talking to me. He's like, wait, did you have a crush? It's like, shut up. And yeah, I'm not really into crazy that much, or into psychotics. And psychotic crazy, that's a big no. And now basically is like, and Zuko's like, I have never seen this before with Azula. It's kind of refreshing. And we're just kind of duking it back and forth. It's like, boom, and I kind of just create some space with like a thunderclap, just, and they, Ty Lee's like, Ty Lee, we're leaving, and they basically run off. And Ty Lee kind of looks at me. It's like, I was like, you really know how to choose your friends there. And then obviously they're cutting the line. Ah, crap. And then obviously Mai saves the day. It's Mai. It's like saving the guy who dumped me. And then obviously we get off. And I look back and I'm like, oh, damn it. Wait, what are you doing? I grab one of the warden's shackles. I'm like, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, leave. And I'm just using the lightning basically, can't like rush down. And just as, the whole thing is like, and let them rot. And as they're about to be taken away, it's like, yeah, I got a better idea. And I just kind of boom, check them. It's like, no talk, no answers. You want to survive? You want to leave right now? Go all aboard. Go. It's like, now, make your choice. And it's like, yeah, okay. And it's like, hold on, and like I actually put my back into it because now I'm going up against gravity, trying to get momentum going with the electricity. And it's kind of like a magnet train. It definitely builds, but it takes a bit longer. But eventually, I'm able to get there just as they cut the line again. And this time, it's like, and I'm like, hold on, as we basically get to the war balloon. It's like, look, there they are, and it's taking off. Boom! It's like, ah! And basically, I throw them onto the war balloon. And it's like, oh god, but I'm not there until they see. It's like, I could really use some help. I'm magnetized at this point. I'm like, please? I'd really prefer not to fall into the ocean. So I help get Mai and Ty Lee out. Which means they join the group, which means Zuko and Mai are actually able to, properly apologize to each other and, make up. It's like, oh, nice. Then there's obviously the Southern Raiders where, Zuko and Katara go off. And I think I'm the one who basically has to explain to Mai, like, don't worry, this is just something he has to do for the sake of Katara. It's not that he likes her. Trust me, he's still your man, like all that. And Tylee's kind of like, yeah, about that. It's like, do you have someone? It's like, not really. I mean, I thought I did until I realized your friend was a complete psycho. But and yeah, don't really like hanging with Azula anymore that much. He's like, we thought we were friends, but it turns out it's just, fear testing. It is what it is. And, so me and Tylee bond, as you can see him kind of setting me and her up, because I always kind of liked Tylee. Tylee was kind of cool. Always fun and bubbly, and, like, we're going to be best friends, but the Kyoshi Wars, they just give a smile like, And so finally we get to the Sozin Comet final 4 episodes of the original series. Now, where I am in this is very tricky. I believe Mai goes with Zuko and Katara to confront Azula. I want to say Tylee goes with, Toph and Sokka. Where am I in this? I actually think I would be holding off. Because I don't think I'd be joining retaking a Ba Sing Se. I don't think I'd be doing that. That was the White Lotus organization. That was the old masters. That was Boomy. That was Iroh. That was John. That was who was the? I can't remember the name of the swordsman, but that was them. I think honestly, because I'm the only technical firebender there, when Sozin is when Ozai is doing his shtick, I think I'm the only one who actually is there to actually stop. I mean, Aang shows up eventually, but I'm the one holding him off at that point. Like I use a thing of lightning, which technically they're the same thing, but lightning is different in terms they're both technically plasma, but lightning, because it has electrons and protons that are charged more, it's a different structure. It's able to, I'm able to actually cut him off. And Ozai sees this, and he realizes who I am. He's like, you're the one, you could, and it just goes to Azula, it's like, you could have had everything, boy, power, wealth, even the hand of my daughter. But you decided no, you would be the hero. You would join. You would not be among the Fire Nation or your own people. You would join some ragtag group of Earth Kingdom peasants, and even then join the Avatar itself. It's like, what can I say? I'm a complicated guy, and so we duke it out. Now, head to head, power to power, I am not as strong as Ozai in this. Being that they have lightning abilities, obviously makes it though that I'm a trickier opponent, and it's all enhanced too by the Sozin's Comet. So, I pull off short. I wrap myself in electricity. I'm pulling off everything I freaking can. And I am giving him a solid fight. He's older. He's got more experience, sure. He's got just more firepower overall. But I'm giving him a really solid fight. Unfortunately, he does throw me back, and I go, cracking into a rock at one point. It's like, crap. It's like, and then that's when Aang shows up. And because I was actually able to give Ozai a good fight, Aang still goes to Avatar, say Ozai does push him, but Aang's actually able to push him harder than he did in the original fight. And ultimately, he still does what he does, but I basically help out Aang. So by the end of the series, everyone's kind of paired off. Mine, Zuko, me and Tylee, your thing. It's like, oh, yay, I don't think she joins the Kyoshi Warriors either. I think, or maybe she does. She doesn't have to not join the Kyoshi Warriors to be in a relationship. Suki and Zuko are thinking, obviously, Katara and Aang. The only one who's not paired up is Toph, but we know Toph had at least a lover. She had kids. I assume she had a husband, at least some sort of, someone to conceive a child with. Anyway, so that is what if I was in Avatar: Last Airbender. I spent a bit of too much time just kind of beating around the bush of how I was in it, but ultimately that was the idea I had in my head. It's a cool idea. I remembered one time I was talking with a buddy of mine who was talking about a D&D version of Avatar: Last Airbender. He was talking about some really cool ways people kind of hacked it, and one of them was a firebender who was lightning bending, but he was bending the electrons in people's brains, so basically just giving them seizures or just aneurysms and shit like that. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up and kind of awesome. So basically, your only real way to take this guy out would be from a distance, because if you're too close to him, you're screwed. But yeah, I didn't want to go that far. But still, That's kind of what I would do. But what do you think? Put it in the comments below, let me know. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below, let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. I'll see you folks later with Lane Core. Later.